Hey guys, Bassmaster Elite Series Pro, Drew Benton. You know, spawn is my favorite time of the year. Spring of the year when they're up there doing their thing shallow. I can get up there on the bank, locate them, figure out what makes them tick and set up on them. It kind of is the perfect merge of hunting and fishing. And I just love that aspect of it. You know, it's kind of like an adult Easter egg hunt. I want to go with you the baits that are on my deck this time of year and what gets it done for me. Number one, when I'm looking, I like to have a search bait in my hand. I like either something moving on top water if we're later in the spawn, or if we're, you know, at the beginning to middle of the spawn, I like a Wacky rig. And I like it for a number of reasons. Number one, it's super subtle, so it'll catch fish in every stage. It'll catch pre-spawners that are up behind the dock that I can skip. It'll catch post spawners that are garden fry. And if I see a bed off in the distance, I can chunk this thing up there long before I get there. And if that fish bites fast, it just saves me more time, makes me more efficient. This is the new Wacky rig that Drew Cook and I have designed for SPRO. Falls and has a super unique action when it falls. It really, these ball ends really make it kind of flutter down. Sink rate is great, and it's great on a Wacky rig. Love that bait. When I do find them on bed, I have a two bait approach. I like a smaller bait, like the Norie's front flapper. That's what I do 90% of my fishing with. And I like a larger craw also. If there's a bigger female in there and I want to make sure that, you know, I appeal to that bigger fish, sometimes I'll go with this bigger bait to try to, I don't know, discourage that smaller male from biting. A lot of times that bigger female will come in there and attack a bigger bait. Very simple on my setup. I like a G-Power 5/0 Gamakatsu hook, 5/16 to a 1/4 ounce tungsten somewhere, anywhere in between that falls. 20-pound Seaguar InvizX on both setups, a 7.3 extra heavy rod. Again, I don't want to play around with them when you get them hooked on this setup. This is my go-to, whether they're behind a dock in a lay down on any piece of cover. I like to have this rod in my hand to get them out of there. If I find a more finicky fish that, you know, I have to spend more time on and think, you know, I have to finesse them, I'll have a drop shot rigged up. 10-pound Seaguar InvizX up to 15, depending on, you know, the size of fish that we're fishing for on that particular lake and the amount of cover. That is a light wire G-Finesse worm hook on there. 3/16 tungsten sinker, and again, that leader material I change out, you know, based on the conditions and based on the lake. If there's a female that's kind of docile acting and sitting off the bed and really not showing any of these baits any kind of action or any kind of aggression, what I really like to do is twitch a big glide bait around them. What you're trying to do is get that fish to move. You're trying to get her kind of active. She's kind of sitting out there lethargic, not paying much attention. This gets their attention. It'll get their attention. You don't necessarily want to catch them on it. So sometimes I even take the hooks off in a tournament because we have to hook them in the mouth. But I get them moving, get them active. Once I see those fins getting excited and I see that they're, you know, kind of enticed, I put that thing down, pitch my front flapper back in there, and a lot of times I'll catch that fish. Be sure to check out these tips and implement them in your sight fishing, and it'll make you a more efficient and better angler.